Genetics in the cipher.
Timeline tangled up. Check it.
They ran the data back, saw the pattern in the strands. Every family tree bending, ending in the sand. Birth rates dipping like a graph off a ledge. Long lifelines, now clipped to the edge. Population chart like a heart with a flat line. Hospitals hum, still the numbers won't align. Science on the board, chalk dust in the air. Quiet in the lab, you can taste the despair. Old blood tired, cells losing their drive. Hold proud empires, scared they won't survive. Every new child like a countdown tick. Every small cradle feels heavy, feels sick. They search fossil scrolls, all the old tomes. Try cloning, splicing synthetic chromosomes. Patterns on bodies, double helix on the screen. But the code stays locked, they can't wash it clean. Then the lens zooms in on the seed of the first mitochondrial trail, tracing back to the birth of the mother of the mother's origin unseen. They whisper in the hallways, we need that gene.
They need that Eve gene, they beg that Eve gene. They mapped every line but they can't leave the Eve gene. They crave that Eve gene, they chase that Eve gene. Whole world shaking cause they can't break the Eve gene. They need that Eve gene, they beg that Eve gene. They backed every line but they can't leave the Eve gene. They crave that Eve gene, they chase that Eve gene. Whole world shaking cause they can't break the Eve gene.
Black woman blueprint, temple of the womb. Her heartbeat right rhythms that echo through the room. Her melanin the manuscript shimmering with lore. Her laughter like a legend, coded in the core. She carries sun in her skin, constellations in her hair. Ancestors in her posture, galaxies in her stare. They studied her saliva, sampled every strand, sequenced her saliva. Still don't understand, every test tube tremble when they spin her light. Particles dance, labs flooded with insight. Her mitochondria humming like a choir in the cave. Warm post, deep drum, every line brave. They traced every river in the map of a vein. Saw a century surviving all the terror in the chains. Try to chart the trauma baked into her cells. Still they couldn't quantify the story she tells. Cause even in the bitterest experimental file, you can feel the resilience stretch mile after mile. They realize quiet and fluorescent gloom if they wanna keep living. Gotta bow in that room now. Contracts drawn, sealed policies and schemes. A body in they slides, a power in they dreams.
They need that Eve gene, they beg that Eve gene. They mapped every line but they can't leave the Eve gene. They crave that Eve gene, they chase that Eve gene. Whole world shaking cause they can't break the Eve gene. They need that Eve gene, they beg that Eve gene. They mapped every line but they can't leave the Eve gene. They crave that Eve gene, they chase that Eve gene. Whole world shaking cause they can't break the Eve gene.
Boardrooms buzzing while the cryo chambers glow. Old money anxious cause the airs come slow. Charts leak secrets under soft halogen. User DNA started all again. They harvest over under sterile blue light. Whisper cold words in the middle of the night. Designer offspring drawn on tablet glass. 3D models of a sanitized class. But every mock-up still carries a trace. A strength in the cheekbones, a fire in the face. Even when they hide it with a softened tone. A essence in the marrow, foundation of the bone. They wanna sip the river but damn the source. Want the fruit of the force, not the force of the course. Want the cure in the vein, but erase the pain. Want the warmth of the sun, but deny the flame. They sign, seal deals, slide clauses through, erase a name. Keep the credits few, but genes don't battle with lawyers' decree. Her code stay coded with a will to be free. So every pure hair they parading on the stage got a line.
Eve gene.